Trying to describe this man in a 2-minute snippet, I don't really think is possible. When I think about Don Black, I think about, just a pure encapsulation of kindness and generosity and faith in people, faith in God. He gives more than he's got in him, and somehow manages to find a little bit more, and I think, when we lose him, we're going to be losing a whole hell of a lot. That's all I got.
He is probably the most generous person I've ever met. He has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on homeless people, especially women with mental disabilities. And he last year one time had 18 women in hotels at the same time. But the most important thing is there's only one thing that can be said about this man, is that he is the most and the only version of unconditional love.
Don Black? Well, Don Black has come in our thrift shop many times, helping many homeless people who have been in dire need of his help. He's always open arm, open wallet, helping. He's available by phone. I have many homeless people that have come in and asked for me to call him, and he's either he answers the phone or he calls them back almost immediately. And he's an angel. He definitely has his wings, and he has a halo above that
I
hat.
started my outreach ministry 14 years ago at the age of 76. Since that time, I've devoted full time to helping the homeless of Laguna Beach and the local area. I devote 8 to 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, to my ministry. Each day includes the following type of activities. 1, providing transportation of about 200 miles a week in my car to take people to such things as job interviews and jobs, appointments with social agencies, court appearances, release from jails, hospitals, especially late-night discharges, campsites and other temporary housing, DMV to obtain identification documents, detox facilities, and so forth. 2, paying for hotel accommodations for critical and emergency cases. 3, buying prescribed medications for those without medical insurance. That is, most of the people I work with. 4, paying rental costs for sober living homes until the individual can find a job. 5, purchasing transportation tickets on bus, train, or airline to allow individuals to rejoin their families anywhere in the United States. After taking as much time as needed to build a relationship of trust and caring, I encourage individuals to reflect on their problems and desires for a better life. We work together to make and document an individual plan. Then I provide support and encouragement as they begin to take steps to implement their plan. I believe in each person I work with, and I try to be the presence of God's unconditional love in each interchange we have. When a person is treated with the fundamental dignity they deserve, they begin to be able to receive love and eventually are able to risk loving themselves again, or maybe for the first time in their lives. When someone asks why I am doing this, I tell them it is because God loves them, and so do I. I expect to continue with this mission as long as I'm physically and mentally able.
He's friendly. He's barely a year old. There you go. Honey, don't worry. It's just fun, okay?
He runs off, gets lost.
During the winter when it was raining, Don opened the shelter for us so we could stay up there at St. Mary's.
He takes care of us. He makes it so I don't have to sleep in the rain and wet. and freeze on a real bad night. And God bless St. Mary's. I'm Catholic boy too.
God bless Rector Elizabeth.
Rick, what he said.
Yeah.
There's no work, and some of these people are in construction. And we eat here and then we go over there, but he gives us shelter.
Is that rascal knows how to preach without using his mouth, and that's one of the things that I love the most about him.
And I'm gonna tell you something from my heart. This guy right here, he's a saint. Oh yeah, no. He's one of the few that's reserved a table up with the big guys. I'm talking Buddha, Jesus, Gandhi, all of them. Yep. And I'll be, if I'm even lucky, to sit there and have a sentence with those gentlemen, boy, that'd be everything to me.
Why do you say?
Oh, man. When I was down and out several times, Don was there. I mean, there. When I thought I was going to die, when I was lonely, when I needed somebody to look up to and talk to, when I needed help with like my birth certificate, my ID, he's just there. When I was shaking so bad, and this is not a great thing, but people don't understand this. Don does. He's learning through us on the streets. Right. When I was so sick and I couldn't get into a rehab because, you had to wait. The guy that was interviewing me was saying, this guy is having seizures, he's gonna die. So he made Don beer me down. It was it wasn't like party time. He saved my life by doing that until I could get into the program, and I eventually did. Yep. And it was a great program, Pomona House, I think. You kidding
He's
me?
the guy to go into battle
yeah.
with. I feel comfortable with that.
Absolutely.
His bad qualities are the world's best qualities. How's that?
There you go. Wow, that was well said. You make sure you get that.
In 2004, before Laguna had an alternative sleeping location, there was a homeless lady in her 60s who went by the name of Cinderella. Cinderella slept in the bushes down in South Laguna. One day the police arrested her on some charge and she was taken off to jail. While in jail, Cinderella fell and broke her arm. The jail refused to treat her injury, and she was released back out on the street with her arm still broken. At this point, Don Black found her, and outraged at how the system had treated her, he personally took her to the hospital. There, doctors not only set her arm, but discovered that she had cancer throughout her entire body, and that she didn't have long to live. Don took her to hospice in Long Beach, but instead of just leaving her there to die, he did what I call a Don Black. He searched through records and found she had 2 living daughters that hadn't seen her in over 25 years. He contacted them and encouraged them to come and see her. One refused to come, but the other got on a plane from San Francisco with a plate of home-baked chocolate chip cookies. Don picked her up at the airport and took her to be reunited with her mother. Through tears of forgiveness and laughter, Cinderella and her daughter recalled earlier days of long ago when they used to bake chocolate chip cookies together. It was a few days later that Cinderella died.
I would say more men should aspire to be like you so that I can find a good guy one day. And he's already taken.
Yeah.
All right, Joan, what's it like living with this guy, Don Black?
I would say it's my greatest adventure. He seems to be able to see potential in people and see past the surface into people's possibilities.
Because of the use of the word homeless, most people interpret the fact that if you give them a place to sleep, you've taken care of the problem, which is not the case. And I found out very early that that is not the most important thing to do. The most important thing is to find out on an individual basis why a person is homeless, and then help them to correct those problems. And as a result of getting rid of the causes, you get rid of the person being homeless. And it's worked. It works. It's worked. I've taken 65 people at least off the streets just by that one simple method. But you got to work at it. But if I did 60, if I had 20 more people working with me, there wouldn't be any homeless left in Laguna Beach, which would achieve the goals of the city if they would just listen to me.
Myths about homelessness. Myth. Homeless people are just lazy. They don't want to work. They're just looking for a free handout. Truth. A storm of bad luck can happen to anyone. When it happens to someone with no safety net or family to fall back on, the result can be homelessness. It's difficult to climb out of the pit of homelessness without help. It's as if the lowest rungs of the ladder out of the pit are missing. Myth. Providing food and clothes to the homeless only enables them and encourages them to stay homeless. Truth. Immediate needs like food and shelter must be taken care of before a homeless person can begin to consider the problems that made them homeless in the first place. Myth. Providing food and clothes to the homeless in Laguna Beach attracts more homeless to move here. Truth. According to our records, the size of the Laguna's homeless population has not significantly increased in the past 10 years. Myth. All homeless individuals are the same. There's probably one solution to end homelessness. Truth. There are as many causes of homelessness as there are homeless people. Each homeless person faces a unique set of problems, and each problem requires a solution suited to that person. Myth. The only thing a homeless person needs is housing. Truth. Shelter is not always the single most pressing need of a homeless person. It could be medical or dental care, the handling of legal matters, or the need for a rehab. It's necessary to determine what has caused someone's homelessness to determine their most urgent need. Don Black has a dream. His dream is that volunteers will come forward and offer to help. He has proven that a one-on-one buddy system works in conjunction with feeding and housing the homeless. Shelters alone are not enough. Dedicated volunteers are needed to help the homeless in solving the problems that have made them homeless in the first place. You could be a volunteer that makes that difference and helps a homeless person get off the street and on his way to a better life. Don's Volunteer Buddy Program has 3 parts. A team of buddy volunteers is needed to work one-on-one with the homeless. Also, an online database of local and county resources is needed to help the homeless solve their problems. And finally, a training program is needed for the volunteers in the buddy program. If you would like to volunteer for any of these, call Don Black at 949-422-5428.
I mean, there it is, opportunity. We can do it. You know, we've got the wherewithal.